Jacob meets Rachel. Before this story, we learned about Jacob's trick to rob his brother of his blessing. He deceived his father into giving him his blessing instead of Esau. Esau's rage boiled, and he sought after the life of Jacob. Rebekah told Jacob to go stay with her brother Laban until it was safe to return. Now, we will learn about Jacob's vision of a ladder and his desire to marry Laban's daughter Rachel, inspired by the book of Genesis. Jacob desired to be blessed by God, and he sought it out from his father since he knew it would not come to him through birthright. Jacob was one of the first to pursue God's blessing instead of allowing it to be given to him through birth. He chose God, yet his desire was at the expense of his brother Esau. In fear for his life, Jacob fled to Paddan Aram, the land of Laban, Rebekah's brother. There he sought to build a life for himself and hopefully find a wife, since it was always his father's desire to marry from the family of Laban. Sorrow plagued Esau's nights, and he mourned the loss of his blessing and birthright. He had not cherished his birthright before, and now that it was given away, he was greatly disturbed. While Jacob was away, Esau also sought out another wife. His desire to reclaim a blessing from God was muddied by rage and contempt. In an effort to please his father, he went to Isaac's half-brother Ishmael and married his daughter, Mahalath. Esau began grasping for any sort of blessing he could. Jacob was on his way to Paddan Aram. The eastern sun was setting, and the light scraped the top of the plains before finally descending beneath the valley. The cool dark of night replaced the sun, and Jacob found a secluded place to lay his head. He took a stone and put it under his head, and laid beneath the stars. Jacob counted the stars in the sky, mindful of God's promise to his grandfather Abraham, that his people would outnumber the stars. The summer breeze hummed across the valley, and Jacob drifted into a deep sleep. Jacob opened his eyes to a dream. Set firmly in the earth was a ladder that stretched all the way to the heavens. He watched as the angels of God were ascending and descending on the ladder. Jacob stood watching as the heavenly hosts of God moved gracefully to and fro. The Lord stood above the ladder, setting his gaze towards Jacob. The gentle yet terrifying voice of God bellowed across the earth, and Jacob marveled as he listened to the Creator speak. "I am the Lord, the God of Abraham and Isaac, your forefathers. The land in which you lie your head will be given to you and your offspring. They shall be like all the dust of the earth, spread abroad and limitless. Through them every family on earth shall be blessed." Jacob marveled as he hung upon every word the Lord spoke. "I am with you," the Lord said, "and I will keep you wherever you go, and I will bring you back here to this land. I will never leave you." And Jacob awoke with a mixture of joy and terror. "Surely God is in this place," Jacob said to himself. "This is none other than the house of God, and the gates of heaven meet here." As the sun was rising and the heat of day replaced the coolness of night, Jacob took the stone that he had put under his head and set it up for a pillar, and poured oil on the top of it. And he named that place Bethel. This would be a special place Jacob would return to. Jacob journeyed alone to Laban's land. When he arrived and began to greet some of the men there, Rachel, Laban's daughter, came with her father's sheep. Rachel was a shepherdess, and beaming with a strong yet gentle beauty. Jacob watched Rachel descend from the fields where she was working, and immediately began to weep. Though they had yet to meet, Jacob knew that he had just gazed upon the woman meant to be his wife. His love for her was immediate, and he ran to her to give water to the flock. As he helped her care for the sheep, their eyes met, and Jacob, in a moment of unexpected passion, kissed her. Jacob told Rachel who he was, and immediately she went to go find her father. Laban ran to Jacob, and the two embraced. A joyful mingling of souls began to emanate from the entire family. Jacob was accepted into the house of Laban, and the two became closer than father and son. Jacob asked that he could serve under Laban and his family. Laban was ecstatic and accepted Jacob's request. "Just because you are my kinsman does not mean you should work for free," Laban said. "Name your price for working for me." Jacob knew that there was one thing more precious than money or land. He knew the second he laid eyes on her that Rachel was the one he was supposed to marry. "Allow me to work for 7 years under you, so that I can marry your daughter," Jacob asked. Laban agreed, and so began their friendship and Jacob's diligent pursuit to work for his bride. Jacob loved Rachel deeply, and their love for one another grew each year.